Well, Reg Militia, the riot of the people. I mess up the words, but you all know what it ends with. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed. Shall not be infringed.
All right, there we go. Welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike, and that was the pre-recorded Smeggy because Smeggy did not show up on time tonight. I don't even know if he's showing up at all. But that's why we called it Hit or Miss, because he could or could not make it. So anyways, who do we have out there on the gun channel side? We've got Garage Guns pulling probably triple duty because he's in the chat here. We got Mel the Nut out there. We got Ohio 45 ACP. We got Doug D. We got the Smiths. We got Cycle Camp, Grandman. We got DF2 Dot. We got the Pants out there. Ellis is out there as well. All right, who we got on the YouTube side? We got Midnight Range TM. We got Colt 97Z. We got Travis T. We got Grandman pulling double duty. Rick is out there. Rick, you're everywhere. We got Travis P11. He's going to be here soon. We got, who else? We got Scott Bocchini. How's it going, Scott? We got Gary Decker out there. Hey, Gary. We got Never Bow Down out there, too. What's going on, man? We got Kalashnikov 108. I like that. And then who else? We got George Ghost and Milton Nut out there on YouTube. All right, guys. All right, so I'll let a few guys on the panel tonight. We get more people in as soon as Ghost decides to turn his off. We may not. So tonight we'll have tonight we've got Garage Guns. What's going on, Garage?
Hey, thanks for the invite.
No problem. We've got Rick's Life as I See It. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the invite.
No problem. And then we have, is it Reverend Ponery or is it only just Mr. Ponery?
I'm only Reverend on Sundays.
Only Reverend on Sundays. Okay, so it's just Mr. Ponery.
Indeed. Good evening, everybody.
All right. So we're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff tonight. I've actually got a list of stuff to talk about. We may get through it in like 15 minutes. It may take us an hour. Who knows? But the one thing I wanted to talk about was the ridiculousness of what's been going on with the media these days, and what's going on in America. Sean, what is the most ridiculous thing you heard this week?
Colin Kaepernick is GQ magazine's quote Citizen of the Year. Not his name, Stephen Williford, not the NRA instructor that stopped the Sutherland Springs shooter. Not that guy. No, can't be him. Not J.J. Watt, who originally intended to only raise $2 million for Hurricane Harvey relief and actually ended up getting $37 million. The city. Nope, can't be him either. Nope, it's got to be some half-assed wannabe with an afro, trying to make a point and stay relevant. Motherfucker doesn't even have a job. He's unemployed, but he's your Citizen of the Year. Great job, GQ. Fantastic.
What the hell? And I want to know why people in the NFL are protesting, saying things aren't equal, when the people they're protesting for are complaining that those guys are protesting because they make millions of dollars a day, whereas the actual people make not even half of that. They're pissed off at that shit. NFL has hit an all-time low as far as viewership lately because of all this shit.
Yeah, and it takes people like Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, the owners of the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots, respectively, to raise a stink and raise awareness about screwing over Roger Goodell, because the way I look at it now in professional sports, it's if you don't get him out, your league is forfeit. You know, the NFL wasn't the original football league in the country. There was an AFL before that, and the NFL came and took over. And now I think the NFL has pretty much outlived its usefulness. Poor management, you know, just bad fucking leadership is what it is. And for an industry that supposedly makes something like $4 billion in 16 weeks? You know, it's like giving an American Express card to a 16-year-old kid. It's irresponsible riches being given to immature people. And it's poorly regulated.
Yeah. Garage, the echo seems to be coming from you. Because I muted you earlier, and it's coming from you. I don't know why.
Guilty.
I don't know what it's coming from.
I don't know. Turn the volume down on your headset a little bit. I don't know. But
Your mic's sensitive. It's picking up a lot.
yeah, I know a lot of you guys out there. I know you're not into the whole NFL thing, but this story was just so ridiculous that I wanted to talk about it. I know. I'm not even in the NFL. I haven't been into football since the mid '90s when the Cowboys were doing good. Okay, and yeah,
I just wanted
much
to get into that. Did you see the latest today?
no, what's going on?
The commissioner put in for a $20 million pay raise and a jet and health insurance for life.
Oh, yeah. But Jerry Jones is the one that's like filibustering against it. And what's really amazing to me is other team owners are putting pressure on Jerry Jones just to let this go. Let it go, Jerry. Just let him have it. Let him have it. He's running the league into the ground with bad policy, but let's just let him have it. It's cool. I don't agree with it at all.
You know what? All I'm gonna say is this. Okay, if people can go and be this disrespectful to the national anthem, to the Pledge of Allegiance, I want, you know, the 14 years of my life that I had to be in school, and I had to do that, I had to be, show reverence to the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I want to be compensated for all that time where I had to, stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Because honestly, if they're gonna be like that, if they can get away with that shit, it pisses me off because I had to do it in school. Most of us had to do it in school.
Did you see that post I put today?
Huh.
We had in Berkeley County here locally, we had our sheriff department's getting sued because some sheriff made a kid stand during the Pledge of Allegiance in the middle of school. So the parents are trying to sue the sheriff department.
The thing is I know active and retired military on both sides of this issue. Some say, look, I've lost friends, so you can have the right to do this.
Yeah.
And other ones are appalled, They're like, don't do it because of civil policy right now. Do it for the guys who actually go out there and bleed so you can play a game. So it's like, I see it on both sides, and even both sides will agree to the same thing. They reluctantly agree that they have the right to do it, but they don't have to agree to it. They don't have to watch it, which is why the ratings are in the toilet. There was a little spike over Veterans Day weekend. That you can't deny. But this Thursday and this coming Sunday will be a telling tale if those ratings hold up. Because I think a lot of people watch it just to see if there was a Veterans Day tribute rather than, oh, they're just forgiving the NFL and coming back. I don't think that's the case at all. Because lately the NFL has been going really heavy on the advertising and marketing towards veterans.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I know some of you guys out there on the YouTube side are saying about this. And yes, I'm not saying that these players don't have the right to protest. They have the right to protest. But you also need to realize and understand that they are being paid to represent their team, to represent their city and state, okay? And when you're getting paid to do a job, that doesn't mean you can go off all willy-nilly and show your political leanings when you're getting paid to do a job. Okay? If you went and did that at your place of work, how long do you think you would stay hired? You wouldn't be employed, for very long.
Oh, yeah. There's a saying. There's two things you don't talk about at work: religion and politics.
Right.
And the thing is, and I think you and I, Night Strike, have talked about this in the past, these guys are considered role models. These guys are using their influence and their platform to show their stance to the people who think they're role modeling too. So in a way, yeah, they're doing it because that's their stage. But we see it as, hey, we can't do that at our job. You shouldn't be able to do that at yours either. It's like the thing that you see in Hollywood too. People preach their politics while they're accepting awards and things, and nobody asked them to. It's like, I always say that actors and sports figures are like the metaphorical monkey dancing in front of a tin cup. They're our entertainment. They're the place that we go to get away from politics, to get away from news, to get away from our everyday lives. And we don't want to go to our escape and be inundated with it even further, because all it does is enrage us, because we wanted to get away from it, and now you're ramming it down our throats every Sunday. And the people have spoken. They're like, enough. I didn't come and sit down in front of my TV to relax just to get pissed off by people who are doing something that, I would see as disrespectful. Some people might agree with it, and they're still watching, and that's fine. That's their choice. It's just, I think the vast majority of Americans of all colors and all creeds and all backgrounds, they're all saying the same thing. It's enough. We didn't want to see this. We want to relax, and you're not letting us relax.
We're tired of the politics. We're tired of the fighting back and forth. People pay for cable TV so they can watch the game without any interruptions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And some people actually go to the game to watch it without any interruptions. And when they have to see that shit right there in front of them, there is something wrong. Because when you're playing a football game, you're not supposed to give us your political views. The people going to those games could give two shits what your political views are. They want to see whether you can win against the other team or not. That's why they paid to see the game. Okay?
If we want their view, we will ask them specifically, what is your stance on this? Because then somebody genuinely wants to know. But until then, go do the thing you were paid to do. Let us idolize you for what you do,
right, because
that's something that we can't do. That's why we watch sports. There are gladiators. We go out there because we wish we could do that. And a lot of us tried to do that, and we just weren't good enough. We didn't make the cut, or we didn't get drafted, or whatever. So it's like we sort of live our lives sort of surreptitiously just by watching them.
Yeah.
But
it pisses me off that a guy like that gets elected, what was it? What was it? The person of the year or something?
Yeah. See, and for your audience, we're really not going on about the actual sport of football. This all started because of this douchebag. The Citizen of the Year award going to a guy who is unemployed. He can't even get a job in the league we're talking about because nobody wants him. He's a shit starter, and people don't want that because it's bad publicity for their team. It's a bad mark on their city. And he's trying to sue the league and team owners for collusion because nobody will hire him. How about the fact that you just suck and you're cancer in society? How about that? Let's just go with the fact that you suck.
I agree.
Nobody wants to hire you because you suck.
Now I want to ask Travis. Travis, I know you're not that big of a football fan, but where is your stance on protesting during the Pledge of Allegiance?
I don't.
Do you support anyone
not
protesting?
In football. He's in Husker territory.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had my football phase and my sports phase. I don't have as much time for it anymore. So we came into the what is the question that you're actually asking? Should people protest as
what I'm asking you is your stance on say first morning at class at school.
Yeah.
Do you support kids protesting instead of standing and doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
Well,
if they still did it in your school.
Yes, we do. We do every morning. We have please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I ask the students to please stand. We have a school policy that allows a student to choose not to. They just can't disrupt everybody else while the pledge is going on. I've never had anybody take a knee, and we have a lot of students that aren't necessarily, they're working on their status, their immigration status and so on. And so they still stand and they still show respect for a country that's providing for them. I've never had anybody, if somebody chose to, first of all, I can't say anything to them because there's a policy that allows them to, and like it or not, that's just the environment that's gone through the courts, and that's what the decision was. So I mean, obviously,
whether you can do anything or not, that's the size of the point. Do you agree with it?
He's lucky because they have a policy where the students are allowed to do so, and the teachers are not allowed to chastise the students. But he's fortunate that none of the students are doing it.
Right.
I might take him at the end of class and say, what's going on? What are you upset about? How do you feel? Well, I saw somebody from my background get shot on TV last night by a cop. I don't support this country. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to say you can't sit down, but let's talk about the issue a little bit. Where do you feel things being, the pledge, what you're pledging to, it's not really associated with what happened there on the side. This is more about your patriotism to your country, pledging allegiance to your flag. I'm not going to, and that's as far as I would take it. I would try to educate them on it a little bit because they're going to be acting on emotion. But yeah, I can't, if a kid chooses to sit down, and the rule also says that you're not allowed to interfere with anybody else that chooses to stand.
All right. Well, it's a shitty rule at your school, but policy.
Hey man, it went through the courts. This is something this is I can't. It's above me. This is something that's gone through every policy we had exists because it's gone through litigation or it's advised to us from school's attorneys.
Back when I was in high school, I would have gotten detention for that shit.
Oh yeah.
It was a very different time back then, though. You and I have been out of school for 20 years.
Well, I haven't been out of school for 20 years, but
But like I said, all I can try to do is talk with the student and try to figure out what their frustration is and try to convince them to try to do otherwise. That's all I can do from my perspective, Now,
what if you as a teacher sees this as someone being disingenuous and they're just trying to get attention? You still can't sort of set them aside and be like, I know what you're doing?
They can sit, but the policy says they're not allowed to interfere with those students that choose to stand. Yeah, they can't sit there and go blah 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 the whole time that we're pledging allegiance, because first of all, it interrupts the educational day, which they legally cannot do, regardless of what they think the rights of free speech are. And two, we have a policy that says if you do this, these are going to be the consequences for your actions. Okay, so you can choose to silently not participate. That's fine, you have that right, but you're not going to interfere with those that wish to.
Right.
But no, I know what you're saying. 20 years ago, man, hey, I went to private school. There's a lot of stuff they did to us back then that if they did it now, the stuff that you'd get pressured into in terms of, participating in athletics and the stuff they would say to you and coerce you to do things. Of course, you're in a private school and you don't have the same rights that you have in a public school.
I went to high school in Kentucky, and let me tell you about Kentucky. Kentucky, at that point in time, they were still allowed to get the ruler out and whip you.
Oh no, the nuns used that on us too in elementary school. I got scars from it.
They were still allowed to do that. Now they didn't do that, but if they had wanted to, they could have at that point in time. So
yeah.
When I went to school, the principal carried a 3/4 inch thick hickory paddle about the length of my leg.
Soul pull, baby. Soul pull.
I tell you, I was sent to an English school and I got the cane on the ass.
So,
what the hell did I just walk into?
We're sharing stories about what we enjoy most about life.
yeah.
It all started with the ridiculousness of the media and the awards that they give each other and the pats on the back. You got to remember, this is the same kind of media that gave Colin Kaepernick the Citizen of the Year. This is the same type of media that gave Caitlyn Jenner like a Hero of the Year or Person of the Year award. This is the same media that once declared Adolf Hitler Man of the Year. I mean, sometimes they just get it wrong.
A lot.
Let me tell you what's wrong is when you show up in a room like this, and the first thing you hear is somebody talking about enjoying getting smacked on the ass.
Hey, I
I'm
went to
glad
Catholic
you're here
school.
to break the darkness of this current topic, to be honest.
All right, so let's move on. Do we have another topic? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about?
California?
Yeah, why don't we talk about that?
Can't really avoid it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because I linked it to Knives the other night. But apparently, everyone's favorite anti-gunner in California, what's his name? Kevin De Leon, Mr. What is it? 30 caliber magazine clip.
Gun Ghost Clip.
Mr. Ghost Guns himself.
Not Ghost Tactical, not to be confused with Ghost Tactical.
No, Mr. Ghost.
Yeah, please do not confuse this fool with me.
Yeah, there we go.
He has gotten himself into a bit of trouble in the harassment allegations that have been going around lately. And
next on the list, huh?
I don't know if he's next on the list, but apparently his department has some issues. So he's having to deal with that instead of trying to take away more guns from people in California.
Is he putting his red rocket on the launch pad where people don't want to see it?
California this afternoon?
No, I think he's showing them on the doll where Dianne Feinstein touched him.
Wow.
Has she had a statement after what happened today up in Northern California?
I don't care, and I don't want to know.
Well, we're going to have to deal with it eventually.
I know, but we're not talking about it tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow when we have more information.
Yeah, because like every time this happens, you know what happens. The pros get on one side, the antis get on the other, and we just start hurling boulders at one another. We might as well just go ahead and be prepared for it, brace for impact.
I didn't even bring it up on my show at all because it's not even worth it right now until there's more information.
Right.
You'd be surprised how angry people get when you read the story. Within 5 minutes, you put the comment, "So how's that California gun control working for you?" Ooh,
Yeah,
they get
no
mad.
kidding. Yeah, they did. They sure did.
Boy, do they get bent out of shape.
So
what's going on, guys?
So in other news, the Beretta factory that's in Tennessee now, right? We all know they've just built a new factory in Tennessee, right? Apparently, apparently yesterday was the first day they started rolling out M9s for government contract. Believe it or not, even though the government has switched to the P320, they still ordered a bunch of M9s already to replace ones that are worn and still in service. So,
yeah, they're still under contract. They still have to make X amount because they already got paid for it.
They already got paid for it, and they have to ship it to the government. And the government chooses what to do with it. Okay, but here's the thing: Beretta, the Beretta plant in Tennessee that they just built yesterday just started. They just started production of new M9 pistols that are on contract for the U.S. government.
And I cannot confirm this, but I've heard the rumor from several different people that might have the knowledge that this could be true. So I'll have to wait to see if it comes out true. But the M9s that are going to be rolled out that are still, I think there's 10,000 of them. I think they still are going to have to produce. I don't know. There's more. There's probably more than that. But they're going to take 10,000 of the newly produced M9s, and instead of giving them to the armed services, they're going to roll them out as a series of M9s to the public. So I think it's pretty cool. And I don't know if they're going to do the new ones. I heard they're going to do the new ones, but I heard if they do, I'm getting one for sure. That was a sidearm that I had in the Marine Corps with the M9.
Here's the thing with the M9s. Right now, the M9s that are being produced in that new factory in Tennessee, they are on contract with the United States government to produce new M9s until 2020.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like I said, they're going to unveil them. Apparently, they're going to unveil 10,000 to the public as military surplus, which would be awesome because I'd love to get my hands on one of those.
So it's like CMP type of a thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
are they A1s
I can't confirm that, but I've heard that from several people. Huh?
Are they the A1 still, or are they the new A3?
It's
Well, see,
probably
that's what I'm saying.
A1s.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'd be happy with just a base
Either way.
M9. I don't care if they have the rail or not.
Absolutely. I'd love to pick up one from the 90s because that's what I shot. So I would love to find one of those somewhere. It'd be awesome.
I would just like to have an M9 that doesn't have the warning label on the frame, because all the 92 FSs that look like M9s, they've all got that warning label built into the frame that looks ugly as shit. It's like, I bought a gun. I know what the gun does. I don't need you to throw safety down my throat. I already know what it's for. I know why it's there. I know how to use it properly. You don't need to put that on my fucking gun and turn it ugly.
I don't know if my 92 FS compact actually had that on there.
Some of them didn't.
Yeah, maybe
early
because that
productions
was
didn't.
slide, maybe they
But
didn't.
like once the assault weapons ban happened, I think that's when they started putting that label on there.
Oh no, yeah, mine's a later production. Mine's just a couple of years old, but yeah.
What I always understood is if you wanted to get one that didn't have all those markings, you bought the Taurus.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing.
Taurus decorates the hell out of their guns, though, too. They do.
My Beretta 92 is the 92S, the Italian police training. And I modified it a little bit by putting an M9 slide on there because I need the ambidextrous safety because I'm left-handed. So that's what I did. But, with that, I don't have the firing pin block in there because the 92S does not have a firing pin block lever to raise it or lower it. So I didn't put it in the slide. So the issue is, but the 92S's do not have that in the frame because they are made for, the Italian police. And the Italian police is like, we don't want that on our fucking gun. Granted,
no, they didn't say it in those exact words. I'm sure there was a lot of hand gestures.
Well, I am hand gesturing, off camera, just to have
you
that.
You are partly Italian after all.
Remember, Sean, my last name is Italian.
Yes.
So I am doing the whole hand thing. I mean, I can turn the camera on if you don't believe me.
Are you you lived in Italy now? You're from Italy?
No, he really is of Italian descent.
I'm not saying that, but he's from every goddamn state in the Union.
Wow.
I am not from every state.
I think by this time in society, I think we all are.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for Rick, who came over from England.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's a halfie, like Churchill.
Oh, right.
Wow.
That means he can go and run for prime minister.
But under
Wait a minute. Does that mean we've been invaded again?
That does mean we've been invaded again, yes.
This time by the English. Damn it.
The British are coming.
God, I hope not, because I certainly don't want to see that.
Yo, y'all want to send Haley Atwell my way? I'm all for it.
Not in your life.
What would your country wife say?
I'll take that.
What would your country wife say about that, Sean?
I don't know. She's dating some rich New York socialite right now, so I guess this is my payback.
All right. So I sent a link out there to Too Hottie if he wants to jump in. I don't know if he's actually going to jump in or not. He did ask for a link, so.
Hey, Joe, I've got a question for you. Why are you putting Hit or Miss Tuesday at 9 o'clock on a chat room when they're already here watching it?
Because Link asked me about his story from the other night, and it ended with, it was Hit or Miss, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right.
That's why. Yes,
just
Link.
Wondering.
I listened to it. I heard it. It was hilarious. Thank you, Link. So.
It wasn't that good.
Wow, I thought it was pretty good.
Savage.
It was just as bad as Ellis's show tonight.
My show was pretty bad tonight. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, stop being Democrats. Stop eating your own.
See, here's the thing, though. No matter how bad my show was, it'll always be better than yours.
Wow.
User
was banned from this chat.
You see, Ghost, this is what I have to deal with from my own family.
You have that eject button. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
next topic, because I know at least one of you went. So, Ghost, show and tell. What did you get?
Oh crap! Well,
Yeah.
all right, hold on.
Now, to
I'm on
fill
my
you guys in
phone.
that are listening, last week was the Wanamaker Gun Show, or Wanamaker Gun Show.
Wanamaker, yeah.
But
Who's it?
Wanamaker. Anyway,
Tannenmacher. That's what it was.
we've been
Let
getting.
me get on my
What
actual
everyone got.
camera because I'm on my phone in my office right now. But I can join with this, and I'll show you in just 2 seconds here.
Michael Camp made out like a bandit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he did.
I saw what he got earlier today.
Well, Cycle
Yeah.
Camp was preparing.
He got himself a Remington rolling block, a what is that called? A M1917.
He got a 1917. Yep.
And he bought a Vetterli 41 rimfire, tube fed Vetterli. And boy, did he rob that guy for that one. Woo!
All right. Sorry, I'm gonna move my pizza out of the way. Domino's, by the way.
Nom, nom, nom.
So yeah, that's the big one that I got.
Right, that's the one I knew you were going to meet up with somebody to get.
I got it from Foos. Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. And I put a video out there earlier that
Oh, you got to
if you're
mute one of your
interested-
mics.
yeah, I gotta mute this other one. Sorry about that. All right, so I put a video out there about an hour or two ago. If you're interested, if you've never kind of seen an M92 AK pistol before, and you're interested, I put a video out there reviewing this and then also shooting it. It produces a hell of a fireball. I'm not gonna lie, it's it's awesome, dude. So yeah, this is I love. I've shot them for a while. I love the AK pistol. Get off this. I've been wanting to get one for a while. And as a matter of fact, I was going to get one a couple weeks ago when Foos was like, dude, I've got one that I just don't shoot as much as I would like. And so it worked out to where I paid him a couple weeks ago and he brought it to me this weekend in Tulsa. So yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. It's probably as much fun of shooting that I've had in a while today. Was just, anytime you get a 7.62 round going down range, it's pretty awesome. And for those of you that are interested in AK platform, but might be a little skeptical on getting the full-size rifle, these AK pistols are fun as hell to shoot, and they're great. You can use them if you want to with the shorter barrel, like I said in the video. You can use them because it's going to be a little less penetration, and it's possible to use them for the house. But it's great to for a little truck gun, car gun. You can take off that brace, and I know a lot of people take the brace off and they'll put them in a backpack and kind of use it as a backpack gun as well. So yeah, that's the big thing that I got. I got some other stuff. One more thing, if you don't mind, I'm going to hijack your show.
Keep going.
Oh, indulge us.
I always
there's so
want
many
to talk
things,
about guns.
but Etch Ordnance is a place, it's a business just in the Tulsa area, but they've actually done some stuff for G-Webs and gun channels. They're gun channels guys. They don't necessarily get on chats, but they are in the lobby sometimes, and they're very familiar with gun channels and all of us. But they do laser etching, and I don't know if you can see that real clear, but he did do an etching of the Marine Corps SEAL on there. They can do knives, they can do scopes, they can do pretty much anything. But this laser sketching, I've got a video coming out, and actually they let me film them etching this particular mag. So that'll be coming out here maybe Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's some cool stuff, man. I got some cool stuff, but yeah.
On that magazine, I have to quote P22 Six Nut.
Yeah.
From the halls of Montezuma
Yes.
to the sides of Ghost Magazine.
That's right.
He fights gun channels battles in the air, on land, and sea.
That is correct.
Let's tell them about that company's business card, because those are awesome.
All right. So I don't know where the hell I put it. I lost it earlier.
Oh, you need the magnet.
Well, you understand that I've got literally like over 100 business cards that I collected over the weekend.
So I know people who are watching your chat know what was going on with you, but for the people who are just watch hit or miss,
Yeah.
How did the show go? How were the people? How were they receptive of having people there that wanted to show the good side of the 2A? Or were they receptive, or were they anti?
Question.
Because G-Webs has said before in previous times, people were really anti about doing any pictures or any video, and I don't know if maybe G-Webs was trying to do it the wrong way or what happened.
No, that's for real. That's very, very, very real. That statement that you just said, very real. As a matter of fact, they, they usually don't allow press. And they don't allow press in most gun shows, but especially this one's the largest in the world. They usually don't allow press. And Clover, you got to thank Clover, because Clover's the one who initiated contact with them last week and said, "Hey, we got several gun channels coming over here. We are very pro 2A, very pro gun, and we'd like to cover the show, put on our channels, put on gun channels, blah blah blah." They said, "Yeah, we'll see." So we get there Friday night after J.M. Davis. We go down there, and G had left J.M. Davis early to go set up his table, and he said, "Hey, I'm done. Once you come down, maybe you get your press passes then," because the show didn't start till the next morning. So we went down there, and this lady was kind of rude. It was like, well, you got to come back tomorrow. I was like, okay, whatever. So we got there at like 7:30 in the morning. The show started at 8, and got in, and the same lady was there, and really wasn't wanting to give us any press passes. And I said, and Clover was like, "Look, I've got a message from Mr. Wanamaker himself. This guy's like 90 years old." And so she's like, oh. So she goes back into the office and she says, "Well, Mr. Wanamaker wants to meet you. He's there,
Cool.
And so we go back in his office, and it's awesome. This guy's like 90 years old, not in great health, but he was there, man. And he sat there and talked to us for 10 or 15 minutes and knew of gun channels, was happy to have us there because he was happy to have someone present the gun show and pro gun and the Second Amendment in a positive light, because most of the people I guess that are typically asking to get these press passes are not necessarily pro gun, So he was awesome. As a matter of fact, by the end of it, he was telling us, "Hey, you need to go interview this guy and this guy and this guy. This guy was on Gunsmoke. This guy has Jesse James's revolver and this, that, and the other." We're like, holy cow. So that was awesome. So we got there and we spent the next 2 days, and I only had one person that was reluctant at all. But what he ended up doing is he said, "Well, I really don't want to be on camera," because it wasn't his company. He was just there representing his company and didn't want to be on camera doing a spiel. Right. So he went through his spiel, and then he backed off, walked away, and let me video the product, and I went throughout his spiel for him. But that was the only one that said that he did. Most of them said maybe not get me on camera and all that, but they went through their spiel. By the end of Sunday, when I was actually doing Etch Ordnance stuff, there's a person that came down from 2 booths down and said, "Are you the guy from Gun Channels?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And she said, "When you get done, will you stop by our booth? I would love to have you look at our product." So they were actually coming and getting us by the end of it, which was an awesome experience because I have a newfound light on gun shows. I'll never see a gun show again the way I after being part of the media side of it. And another thing is I'll never go to a gun show without being a media side of it, because they gave us literally the keys to the largest gun show in the world, and it was unbelievable. They were very receptive to us because they knew that we were going to take care of them. We were not going to paint them in a bad light. We were going to promote the show, promote these vendors, promote these products in a positive light. So they were bending over backwards helping us out. So it was amazing. It was really amazing.
Awesome.
I'm trying to find that damn business card. I don't know what the hell I did with it.
Are any of you guys going to go back in April? Because I'm considering going in April.
Yes. I think we're all going back in April. Plus, we're going to try to get double the people. And here's what we were talking about meeting. Okay, so
I just hope that one lady isn't there again to give you problems. Because
she knows.
It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now. I mean, Mr.
It sounds like she didn't want to do her job where she's.
No. Think about it like this. They've never done it before.
Right.
So she thought they were lying.
That's right.
Then she found out it was legit.
That's right. That's exactly what happened.
So she will be far more receptive the next time.
Well, yeah. So that's a great question because so Sunday at 4, which a lot of the vendors start kind of closing up around 2. It was kind of slow. We stayed there pretty much the whole time. Mm-hmm. But about 3 o'clock, they had like these. Well, I can show you. I've got one right here. they had these magazines that obviously say the gun show and all of that. And in the middle of it, they've got all 4,200 tables listed and what row they're on. I mean, it's stupid.
That's the map, right? That's what you were talking about earlier.
This is the map. And the one I had was kind of rolled up and all that. So I was trying to go find some more of these, and G wanted some for the tour and all that. So I went over there at the concession stand, kind of where they had them out, and they weren't there. They were all gone. So I went over to the exit, and there's security people checking people's guns when they're leaving, make sure they actually bought them and didn't steal them and all that stuff. And I said, do you have any more of these? And he's like, no, but you can go over there to the check-in table. They probably have some. So I walked over there, same place we went to get our media passes. And the ginger girl, her name was Ginger, not because she's redheaded, but her name was Ginger. The ginger lady wasn't there at the time, but the same lady, the other lady was there the whole time, was there. And I just asked her, I said, do you have a stack of those? And she gave me about 2 dozen of them. And I gave some to G and gave some to different people. And I kept several for myself. But she was like, oh my gosh, guys, we've heard nothing but awesome things from all the vendors. We're so glad that you guys are here. You know, we loved having you here. If there's anything we can do for you in the future. I mean, they were just like, whatever you guys want, you guys get. I mean, they literally gave us the keys to the largest gun show in the world, and it was unbelievable.
It seems like once Clover contacted them, they went to do their due diligence and, you know, to check up, I guess, on gun channels and everybody in general, and they found out that, you know, the people that are asking are really pro-gun people, probably the proest you can get.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, when I sent them an email for myself, I make sure I linked, you know, gun channels, my gun channels page, my YouTube page, my Instagram, my VidMe, and said, here's what I'm putting out. I'm not just some guy who's just trying to get a press pass. I'm actually trying to be a legitimate, you know, advocate of the Second Amendment and the gun community. And I don't know if they went and looked at it or not, but when we got there, they knew who we were. They knew us as Ghost and CloverTac. So it was like they must have done something to recognize us, you know.
Awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be the guy that reviews the crappy CPX2, you know. Oh, this guy's not going in.
No.
You all are fine, but this dirtbag over here,
they'll let you in, Travis. But then all the vendors will probably come up to you and ask you, so what happened to the CPX2?
Right. Right.
It's like, you still have the
Go watch Travis P11 season 1 to figure it out. And in the meantime, I'm going to review this table right here.
That's right. Now we'll tell you what
is folding.
What's that? So what I was going to say is, obviously the whole gun show and all that was awesome, but getting to meet, you know, I've met G and I met Clover beforehand, but P226 Nut, Mr. Wright, Foose. I mean, Foose was 2 hours from me. We haven't met each other. You know, Raphael was there, Cycle Camp, you know, getting to meet these guys in person. I can tell you one thing we were talking on my show earlier is what you guys see on camera and in the lobby chats is 100% authentic. They are 100% the same people in person as they are behind a microphone and in front of a camera, which is really refreshing to me, knowing that it's not an act. The gun channel community is very, very strong, and it's only going to get bigger. But one of the things we talked about is making it a 4-day event in April. Now, not everyone can make it a 4-day event, but we're going to get there on Thursday if you can, and we're going to try to get a house so that everyone's there instead of having to split up to different hotel rooms. Get a house.
I was going to ask you about that.
All do that, and it'll be.
How were the
awesome
hotel
idea.
prices? Were they nasty? Were they like $190 a night or $200
You
a night?
You had some of them, but I got a room at the airport for $70 a night. And I'd be
all about a room, but I don't know. We might wake up the next day. There could be a tiger in the bathroom and a baby in the closet.
I had 3 lamps.
Tulsa or bust 2018.
Yeah, well, I had 3 lamps in my hotel room, but they only gave us 1 light bulb. That's legitimate. Dead serious.
Hey man, that's what you get for $70. Be happy at work.
Yeah. But what we're talking about is getting a house like these. There's rental houses you can get right like 2 blocks from the thing. It seats like 8 or 10 people.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, is you can probably sleep more than if you want to bring up a blow up mattress or something. But having a place we can all gather after everything's over, dinner is over, click on the laptop, be in a lobby chat with 8 or 10 of us at one place.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
But we thought about doing a Thursday, going to J.M. Davis on Thursday, and then Friday doing a range day. Go out to the U.S. Shooting Academy, one of the local ranges, and everyone that is driving or can bring different guns and call it a Gun Channels Range Day, and just kind of gather on the range and shoot a bunch of guns together before the show on Saturday and Sunday. So that's kind of the plan. I'm sure G will have something going on with that. Talk about it more, but I mean, if we can get 10, 15, 20 guys, it would be the most amazing experience, man, because I really had one of the best weekends I've had in a long time this weekend.
Now, I could probably do that because, I mean, I don't have any break time during that point, but I've got a couple personal days I can burn, and so I could do the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'd probably go home on Sunday, though.
Right.
Would the actual show day be primarily on Saturday? That'd be the main show day then, or what?
Yeah, the main show, there was, and I'm not exaggerating, there's 50,000 people there on Saturday. Sunday morning and Sunday it was probably half that, 20 to 25,000. And like I said, the show ends at 8 goes from 8 to 4 on Sunday, but by 2 o'clock a lot of the vendors were leaving. So you could literally leave at, not even go to the show on Sunday, not miss anything. What I would say is if you can maybe come for a little bit on Sunday, because if you try to see 4,200 booths and tables all on Saturday with 50,000 people there, you're going to miss a lot. So what I was trying to do was maybe leave by around 11 or 12 on Sunday and still get home in a decent hour.
Yeah.
Go tell me about the $1 million sale.
The $1 million sale is a real thing. This is no joke.
Tell the people about the $1 million. That was amazing.
It is amazing. All right, so there's tables. I mean, you can imagine 4,200 tables in an 11-acre building. No joke. But there's 4,200 tables there, and there was a table that had probably a guy had rented. Each table is like 175 plus if you get power, it's like $250 per table. Well, he got like 6 or 7 tables and made like a circle or a horseshoe that was just his private collection. And the number that I heard was over 1,300 guns in this guy's private collection that he had there. And no, some of them were very, very rare. Some of them were just normal guns, but over 1,300 guns. This is Saturday. We show up Sunday, and this whole horseshoe is empty, and it's in the prime middle of the. I mean, it's right there where it is the prime location. Like if they were going to charge a premium for tables, this would be the area that they'd charge the premium for. So it was right in the middle of everything. And it's empty. No one's there. It's gone. So everyone's kind of starting asking, what's going on? And I heard from several different people, and G had heard it, and Clover heard it, so everyone's starting to hear this. Well, apparently on Saturday afternoon, the gentleman walks into the show, goes up to this display, private collection, and said, I want to buy your collection. I'll give you $1 million for the collection. And the guy was like, whatever, Guy puts his laptop on the counter and said, give me your bank account. I'll wire it right now. The guy's like, if you're going to pay me $1 million, then you got a deal. Boom, transfer the money right there. And all of a sudden, apparently there's like 5 or 6 people, like a crew. He had a crew come up and start boxing and crating his collection up.
Watch it. It was John Stossel undercover.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Material right there, man.
Guy, $1 million sale. Bought a private collection for $1 million. Gone. Done. There's your weekend. It was awesome.
Best collection sale ever.
That guy went straight to a Bugatti dealer.
I hope they weren't airsoft guns, man.
But that guy retired right there.
Ghost keep me in the loop about the house thing. I'm all about that, man. That'd be awesome. The other Travis wants to be our cook, so we might have to invite him.
I mean, I guess we'll take him.
He's cooking. I'm in.
No kidding, huh? No kidding.
How are we gonna get there, Ellis?
Drive, baby, drive.
Horseback.
Show a
They
little
make
leg.
these things called airplanes.
Didn't
you ever watch like Convoy? Just show some leg.
Didn't your truck break down, Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost. What happened about your truck?
Yeah, what happened there?
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
With what now? With what?
What happened with your truck? I hear somebody said something about having to replace an alternator.
That's no big deal.
My alternator?
Or was it a starter?
It was an alternator. Yeah, so Friday night, when I drive all the way up there, and not a problem. Understand this is I call my range truck. It's not my everyday drive. It's when I go to the range or I go to a shoot or I just want to mess around. It's a 2005 Dodge Durango. It's an awesome. It's got a 5.7 liter Hemi. It's an awesome truck. It's got 255,000 miles. I've literally never had one single problem with it. So I get to Tulsa, everything's great. Go to J.M. Davis, everything's great. Drive down to Tulsa, not a problem. Go pick up Cycle Camp at his hotel. Everything's great. We go out to dinner and all that. So I'm going to go drop him off at the hotel. Clover had to run back to our hotel because he had a fire on Friday that he was supposed to start up until he realized that the Wi-Fi at the hotel is worse than McDonald's Wi-Fi. So anyway, he went back to the hotel, so I went to go drop off Cycle Camp. And we're literally about a mile or two from the exit on the highway. And all of a sudden, every single, like, check engine, oil, windshield wiper fluid, every single light on the dashboard that could possibly light up started just flashing. I'm like, holy hell. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
That's a Mopar Christmas right there.
Mopar
Right?
Christmas.
Yeah. So I'm going, what in the world? And all of a sudden, like, the dash lights start dimming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh no, you know? And Cycle Camp's going, oh, that's not good, you know? And can we get back to the hotel? So we exit the highway, pull off into the parking lot, and I literally pull into a parking place in Cycle Camp's hotel, and the car shuts off. Before it shuts off, it starts screaming like a. Ever know what a panther or a bobcat's scream sounds like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the car. That's the sound my car made. And so we figured out it was the alternator. So we went and got an alternator, and Sunday, Clover and Cycle Camp fixed my alternator. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I am not mechanically inclined one bit. Luckily, I had Clover. We had the Gun Channel's pit crew there. It was me, Clover, Cycle Camp, G Webbs, P226 Nut, and Mr. Wright. We literally had, and I think G Webbs is actually live on the lobby chat filming the whole thing.
Now, what happened?
So if you go check Sunday afternoon's lobby chat, you will see Clover fixing my alternator live.
15 minutes and one beer.
What happened?
It
when
took
you
a
were
while
fixing
because it was a pain in
I
the
heard
ass.
something that had happened when you were fixing it. That some lady came up to you.
Okay, yeah, so we're in the parking lot of this hotel. Now, I don't know. I'm not from Tulsa. I don't know anything about Tulsa. But apparently P226 Nut says that we're in the sketchy, what they call the drug and whore area of Tulsa. So we're in this parking lot. You know, understand we're fixing my car, but G's van's there and everything, you know, so it's in a sketchy part of town. This girl pulls up to G and these guys in the parking lot and says, hey, are you guys the cops? And they're like, I mean, dead serious. It's like, are you guys cops? And he's like, no. He goes, oh, well, then do you have any weed? No. True story. Really happened. Yeah, so that happened.
See, what I would have said was, no, we're not cops. And when she said, do you have any weed? I said, we are cops.
It's been like, do
That's
you?
But that's impersonating a police officer. That might not have gone over very well. What if that was a sting thing and they catch you impersonating a police officer? It could have been a sting. You never know. They might have been waiting for us to
See,
say
they go
yes.
all across the country picking on guys that are trying to change alternators in hotel parking
Right.
lots to try to sell them.
Grease and sweat and tools.
Here's the
Real
thing.
cops.
Here's the thing: you can tell somebody you're a cop as long as you don't show a badge or try to prove that you're a cop.
You didn't even have to do that, man. It's like you're covered in tools, grease, sweat, and parts, right? And some
Lady,
dumbass
do I look like a cop?
Y'all cops be like, I'm a Marine. Can't you tell?
Yeah, I mean, now if you would have asked if we had any guns, I would love to just imagine between the 6 or 7 of us that were there in that parking lot, how many guns either on person or in vehicles. Because this is the end of the weekend also. Like, we'd already bought a lot of stuff also. So that we had a large arsenal. You know, so if anyone tried to Indy's Jack on us in that parking lot, they would not have liked the ending of that story.
It'd have been like that last week
I'm
episode
waiting
of
for the
Walking Dead
April
when you actually
story.
would hit people.
Yeah,
We actually would have hit people. That's right. I mean, goodness
down
gracious.
by like 20 guns.
Could you?
'Cause I
could
think
you
I brought
imagine that?
like 6 to myself, plus the one that I bought. So I mean, and there's no telling what G had and P2. I mean, there's no telling what was in these vehicles. So plus,
Could
you know,
you-
Bill had bought 3 rifles himself. So
Could you imagine you're working on your alternator? Some dude walks up with a little 22 to 25 something, and says, "Give me all your money."
Right?
Yeah, that would have that would have been fun.
And then all of
Yeah,
a sudden,
he's working on his
G-Webs,
he's working on his alternator, and he pulls out the Glock 29 right next to the wrench. It's like, bitch, what'd you say?
Yeah. Well, on top of that, he'd be surrounded by 5 other people too, so that would be funny, you know.
That would be the funny part. See, because he's got the
show up
gun.
and you're like,
he's
where'd
got
he go? Well,
he's got
follow
the
that
gun
funnel
pointed-
with this.
He's got the gun pointed at you, and not paying attention to what the hell's going on around him.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, he wouldn't have to worry about me pulling. I had plenty of backup, you know.
All you do is sit there and start laughing. He says, "What you laughing at?"
I just keep
And
him
then you just
occupied while
point.
he gets slaughtered by 5 other guys, you know.
Then you just point and look behind you.
Ghost, you be underneath the hood. Hey, Clover, you want to hand me that? Here, why don't
Yeah.
you take this and let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
I think it's metric. Hey, what was that again? What? Okay, all right. Hold
You
on.
see,
Oh, that
I've
would've been
already got the
funny.
story
Yeah.
of what's going to happen next April. This is how it's going to go down. Y'all are going to be in a parking lot. Some methed out hooker's going to be there.
No, you're
Oh,
just
no.
you say
He's
we're
gonna
gonna
say
because you're gonna be
something.
here. You're gonna be here,
Yeah.
so we're gonna be in the
So,
parking lot.
I'm going to be telling this story next year on Hit or Miss at 9 o'clock. And I'll be like, a methed out hooker tried to hold us up. And all of a sudden I heard Mr. Nye's voice go, "Release the Moab." And all of a sudden G's new Doberman comes leaping out of the van. Good job, Moab. Good job.
All right, so I gotta admit there was a funny 20-minute stretch on Saturday that Celebrity G Webs they found out that G was there.
Mhm.
And this one kid comes by and he was like, "Gun channels." You know, and he had his deck of cards and he started talking to the kid and he was trying to sell. He had bayonets and all that. But by the way, I learned something about G Webs this weekend. Apparently, he has the largest in America and either the second or the largest Russian bayonet collection in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He's like big time when it comes to bayonets. I didn't know that he had that big of a collection.
That's
I
not
thought you were going
news.
to say he had the second largest hands in the world, and
No shit.
No, that's Donald Trump.
Uma Thurman has the largest hands in the world.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, so this kid comes around. He starts talking. He goes, "Wait a second. Are you G Webs?" And he's like,
Yeah,
"You want to
no.
buy a bayonet?" You know, he's like, "You want to buy a bayonet?" He's trying to, you know, and he goes, "You're G Webs." He goes, "I've been watching your stuff for a long, blah, blah, blah." He's shaking his hand and all that stuff. And I said, "Hey, you know what would be really cool?" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "You could go tell people that you own a bayonet that belonged to G Webs if you bought one." You know, and we're trying to and so this guy leaves and G's like, "I don't give a fuck about being a celebrity. I want to sell bayonets. I need to make money here, you know?"
that's like that scene. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kid, I don't know what
Right.
Go away.
Well, over the
Buy
next
a
20
bayonet,
minutes, we
have
must
a
have had
selfie.
5 or 6 other people. I guess the word starts spreading, and like 5 or 6 other people came by, like, "So you're G Webs," and it was hilarious. He was like so uncomfortable. It was hilarious.
So
Heavy lies the crown, bros.
was
Telling
he
you
able
That's
to
right.
sell more bayonets that day?
He sold several bayonets. Yeah, he sold a bunch of deck of cards too, the AK cards and the Wild West cards. He sold a bunch of cards, and I think he sold maybe 4, 5, or 6 bayonets, something like that. Yeah, he did sell some stuff.
Well,
Wait,
guys,
so are you saying that next April I'm going to have to play the part of G Web's press agent? I'll be like, he's not fielding any questions right now.
No, I think you need to be his hype man. I think you need to walk around with a sign saying G Webs is here.
Dude, you're going to get to wear like a Flavor Flav sock and go, yeah, boy.
G-Webs has left the building. I repeat, G-Webs has left the building.
I'm
G Webs
already,
has left the
I
building.
am already making plans to be there in April.
I'm gonna
Guys, it is one of those things, like I said, if for no other reason, come for the museum and the show. It's amazing. But the brotherhood and the friendships that were 100% solidified by meeting in person. We were already friends, but, you know, meeting them in person. And we were sitting at dinner and out in the parking lots we stayed in the parking lot for 2.5 hours Sunday night after eating dinner. And we basically had our own lobby chat in person. It was hilarious and it was awesome. So you guys need to make plans for April. I think 7th and 8th is the
6th,
Moneymaker
7th,
show.
Yes.
And
So-
well, the 6th is when they set up, and the 6th is a Friday. Whenever the Friday is, which we can get in because of G, and then if you have media also, and that's really cool thing. G said that's where the best thing is because the vendors are selling to each other, you know, and it's craziness before the public comes in. So that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, it's a Saturday, Sunday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 8 to 4 on Sunday. But like I said, on a Thursday, we're going to try to go to the museum, and on Friday, we're going to try to do a Gun Channels range shoot. So it would be awesome. If you guys can make it, it'd be awesome.
If we do media passes again, do I have to wear my Bond tux?
No.
Yes.
I think you should.
Yes.
You don't have to, but I think you should.
Clovertac, I know you're out there.
Hey, Claudia, didn't realize Clover's here. What's up, bro? He can testify that everything I just said is 100% legitimate true, which is awesome because there's some stories that came from this weekend that are incredible.
So what would I have to do to get a media pass?
Show up.
Kind of what we did. We can get with that off air. Probably be a better way to discuss it, but we can tell you how to do that. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Clovertac, are you live or are you just here for obligations?
What the hell's he obligated to do?
Show off that badass avatar.
He's the
that's about
tactical
it.
leprechaun.
Clover, where are you at?
You got
We need to
yourself
get him
muted.
like we need to get him an AR lower that's like Cerakoted green and have that engraved on the side of it.
I can actually do that.
The tactical leprechaun. That'd be
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
See, here's the
If you
thing.
want
That,
a custom one, I can build it for you.
that particular tactical leprechaun right there has very bad trigger discipline.
Yeah, I want that on a T-shirt on the back.
It's
Of
either
like
very
CT
bad or you're
Posse
just always
something,
ready.
You know?
Oh, okay. So this is
Mafia.
hilarious. So Mr. Wright and I go outside to smoke, and we come in. And the cool thing about having a media pass is we get to go in and out of doors that the public can't. So you have like your own like exhibitors and media, the only ones that can come to this door. So you can kind of come in and out.
Okay.
All you got lines outside smoking. And there's a guy who just had bought an AR, and he's walking around Wanamaker through there in low ready the whole time. I was like, "What the hell, dude? What do you expecting this to happen?" But he's walking around with 50,000 people in low ready with an AR the whole time. It was hilarious.
Did you?
That was Tom from Weapons Education, wasn't it?
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Wait. Are you sure that was Tom and not everyone's favorite Langley Firearms Academy instructor, Braden?
No, if that was
Oh,
Tom,
no.
he would have been thrown out twice.
All right, so Clover and I witnessed something that we didn't think was possible, but we're almost 99.9% sure that Barry's not dead. Barry was there. He came to the table, and the more you looked at this guy, it was Barry. We're like, holy cow, that is a doppelganger if I've ever seen one. And Clover saw 2 or 3 people that, one was like Braden, but I'm telling you, this guy was Barry. And I was like,
He might have been there, man. He might have been there, dude.
He might have been there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Hickok was there.
Really?
Yep, Hickok goes every year apparently, but he doesn't go there to be celebrity Hickok. He goes there to actually buy stuff. And apparently he was there incognito. I don't know if he was wearing a disguise or something, but he was there.
He's
And
6'9".
but he didn't have,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's he incognito? Did he dress up as like an Ent from Lord of the Rings?
Did he not wear Carhartt this time, or what?
Well, what they said is usually when he's there, he usually has like this massive crowd that just goes everywhere he goes, and only way you can tell that it's him is because you can see his head towering over everybody else.
Oh yeah.
But apparently he was there all weekend. We never saw a massive crowd surrounding anybody. So, but they said he was there, and a couple people actually saw him, but he never had a crowd. So I don't know if he was wearing a hat or, I don't know, but he was there as a buyer, not as Hickok,
I could have sworn I seen him, but I seen so many doppelgangers that
Yeah, I
it
told him about
wasn't even
Barry.
funny, so, yeah.
Barry's alive and well.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna say everybody looks like Barry or Yankee.
Tell
He's
us
coming
about
back
your
for his
experience.
percentage of those IV88 videos now.
I want my cut.
Clover,
That was awesome.
$4,000 for every review, remember?
tell us about your experience with at Wanamaker this year.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, we're going extended
How
today.
many other Clover tags do we have on this channel?
I didn't hear you say that. God, really? This is how
Take
you
your
treat
GoPro
guests
off.
on your show? Really? Really?
You can get him back tomorrow.
You can get me back tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
Remember, Clover, I was good to you.
In a word, it was awesome, man. It was I don't want to say life changing, but especially as a creator, it was one of them things to where you realize that there's so much more you can do, I guess, as a creator. And you realize all the different possibilities and the people you meet and the conversations you had, not just among, all of us from Gun Channels that was there, but, with the dealers and the people running the exhibits and even random people that were, standing at the booth with you and that sort of thing. That's pretty awesome. I can say that, both places, J.M. Davis and the show and the Wanamaker show, very, very overwhelming when you first walk in, without a doubt. You kind of get used to it after a few hours, but when you first walk in the door, I mean, it's either place you don't know where to start. So they're that huge, and there's that much stuff to look at, and pictures and video with both places absolutely don't do either one justice. You just cannot get the depth in pictures and videos that really, I don't know, encapsulates, I guess, how big those places are.
He found it. You're muted, Ghost.
Damn it! All right,
the card.
So that is Edge Ordnance's business card. It's
only took 2.5 hours to find it.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's one of those things. I literally have about 100 business cards. It's
You
crazy.
gotta click on them so that people can see it.
I've got.
Yeah, so it's cool, and so it's aluminum or some kind of, but it's a metal business card, which is really cool because I'm thinking about getting some, and I know G's even talked about doing some stuff with Gun Channels with these things and different things. So these guys, like I said, these guys are members of Gun Channels. They watch our shows. They knew us. They've done some work for G-Webs in the past. But go check out edgeordnance.com. They do some awesome stuff, guys. That's one of the coolest business cards I've ever seen in my life right there.
Nice.
So there you go.
All right. So that's that. I guess that's all we need to say. Other than I'm gonna have to start a GoFundMe to get to Tulsa in April.
Exactly.
Let's do a super chat right now. Let's do a super chat right now.
I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I can't do the whole super chat thing yet.
Hey, let me tell you something.
What's up?
The guys out there that watch this content are amazing.
They are.
I did the Tulsa Tour 2017 little campaign, right? And I didn't have a lot of participation. I mean, I've got to figure it out. I know Rick's in here. I've done told him thank you, but thanks a ton, Mr. Rick, because it really helped out what you kicked in. But I was frugal. Ghost will tell you.
Yep.
I took my cooler. I took my turkey. I took my sandwiches, my bread, and they'll tell you, other than when we all went out to eat at night, what did I eat, Ghost?
Sandwiches.
I ate my turkey sandwiches.
And your Lunchables.
I didn't spend $10 on a corn dog, and I didn't spend $10 on a whatever those other things y'all were getting. What was that? The
Philly cheesesteak. Oh, so
Philly cheesesteak,
oh.
or the $5 drinks, Cokes, and whatever in the cooler.
Holy crap! It was a football game or something.
It was.
And I ended up. I've got to put pen to paper, and I told the guys that when I started the tour I would do that. But I'm telling you this night, Strike, to get a point across that I'm pretty sure that my cost was, out of my pocket was extremely minimal on the trip.
Yeah.
Well, remember, I'm not going to be driving. I'll probably have to take a plane because it's just. I'm on the East Coast.
Wait a minute. I was telling Cycle Camp about this because of his airport fiasco about being 4 pounds overweight and having to pay an extra $100 to carry his luggage on.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Before you go, start checking now for Greyhound rates, because what they'll do is you can take an overnight trip where you basically show up at the depot at like 9 p.m. the day before, and they'll drive you there overnight while you're sleeping in the bus. And when you wake up, you're there. And it's like...
And you don't have to worry about the overages for baggage also.
Exactly, because the bus companies right now, they're so hard up for business that what they're actually doing is they're showing up to shops like mine, and they're offering courier service for deliveries like UPS and FedEx, because the undersides of the buses are empty. They have so few passengers that they'll take cargo.
I'm not going to
Thought
take
about
a
You can
that.
take
Greyhound.
whatever you want on that bus and back from that bus.
I'm not going to take a bus because
Right.
their law. Believe it or not, while you say that, Sean,
Mm.
most of the Greyhounds policies, which is all I've got here in South
Yeah.
Carolina, their policy is no guns. Period. CCW or otherwise.
Even
Well,
in
no,
packed luggage and
Nice trick.
cases.
If I get the leave and if I'm still in the country, I'll go and you can ride with me.
Well,
There you
I mean,
go.
worst case scenario is you can go there one way on a bus and then fly back if you
That's
want to
right.
like cost cut or something, you know?
Right.
But the whole point, though, in Nice Strike is, I'm telling you, I know no one in this room takes it for granted. There are some people that do take them for granted, but our viewers are unbelievably loyal and amazing. That like I said, Clover, like he said, most of the out of pocket was very minimal. What you also have to understand, though, is we're giving them something in return. I haven't exactly calculated it, but I have an upwards of 3.5 to 4 hours of video content between J.M. Davis and Wanamaker. And if you average that at 2 or 3 minutes a clip, I've got content for months that makes it so worth it. It's unbelievable amount of content we got.
Yeah, I mean, think about, and this is one of the things that I had several viewers out there that kicked in, and some of my patrons too, and they were like, I can't go. So if I can kick in a few bucks and this person kicks in a few bucks and that person kicks in a few bucks, and you're able to go and bring back all this content and put all this stuff out, it's kind of like I went because I get to see
Yeah.
all this stuff for
They go
just a few
vicariously
bucks.
through you.
And they'll
Exactly.
say, hey,
Instead
I'm
of
looking
having-
for something like this. If you see this, will you do a video on that? I like this. I've never
Oh,
seen
yeah.
one before. And we'll do that.
Exactly.
You know what?
Yes.
I have been thinking about doing the Patreon thing when I got bigger. But now I'm thinking, maybe I should start now and
Well,
put out
I'm
content.
the
telling you,
whole thing is,
the platform, if you use it to its potential, which there's several here that I know that they do, the platform itself is awesome as far as engagement and what you can do. It still has some bugs. It still has some things they need to work on. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty awesome for being able to post and interact with people, not just those that are patrons, not just those that pay a certain level
yeah,
or
you can do
whatever,
everyone.
but the public. I mean, you can open things up to everyone on there. So
Well, I'll tell you what.
yeah,
we'll go
I would say start it now, and if nothing else, I mean, just leave everything public.
after we get off there, I'll get with you and Ghost, and we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Travis has a really good Patreon. He does a lot on his Patreon channel for his
He
patrons
does.
also. So
Travis
does a really good job with it.
Travis also has a shop sponsor. I mean, he's almost as bad as Hickok 45 with Bud's Gun Shop.
I get my guns back. I clean them and give them back. That's the difference between.
Oh, you clean them and give them back. Hickok,
Yeah, and furthermore, I can say whatever I want about the guns, and it doesn't matter because I'm not contracted or I don't get any money. So I can, if I don't like the gun, if it shoots like crap, you're gonna see it, and I shoot like crap a lot. So there you go.
No, but what Patreon does is it is a platform that is basically untouched right now. I think G said there's 50,000 people that are on Patreon that contribute $1.5 million a year to their creators, their favorite creators. And it's one of those things where it sounds weird. And I was skeptical about getting into it because I don't like asking people for money. That's not why I got into the YouTube side of it. But what's interesting is there are people that actually watch all of our shows and watch all of our videos that actually appreciate what we're doing. And it's more than anything else. Yes, the money does help to subsidize what we're trying to do with cameras and travel expenses and all that. But more importantly, it's awesome to know that someone thinks enough of what you're doing to kick in $1 a month.
Mhm.
It's amazing to get that notification. You've got a new Patreon, new Patreon. So-and-so pledged $1 a month, or someone pledged $5 a month to you. And you sit there and say, my gosh, what I'm doing is actually means something to somebody. And that more than anything else as a content creator, that's the most gratifying thing, is that someone is willing and able to support your channel monetarily because they like what you do. And there is nothing more important than that.
It's
To me,
validation for what you're doing.
Exactly. Absolutely. So thank you to all my patrons that are out there. I really do appreciate all of you. And people say it all the time, but I mean, I think everyone in this room that has Patreon, that has patrons, I can probably speak for all of them. 100%. We truly appreciate all your support. It means a lot to us all.
Yep, indeed. So, I guess with that, unless anybody else has anything they want to bring up or talk about.
Tulsa or Bust 2018.
Big Gunner
New
81
hashtag.
follows us. He's probably already started.
He's
so
already
if you're
started
looking
at
for
10.
something else to watch that wraps up Tuesday nights here at Gun Channels, go check him out.
Yep.
See,
So,
I'm the hype man.
Hype.
yeah, so what I'm gonna do is me and Travis are gonna do a Tulsa or Bust chat later. So
I can be there in 6 hours actually. So I'm done, man. I'm out. Let's go.
I'm actually half tempted to borrow my friend's RV to do this trip.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean,
There were so many
Guns,
people that were
if you wanna
traveling
go,
RVs up there. There were a
if
ton of
you're
RVs
able
and
to go,
campers.
you know, I'll go with you, Garage. But other than that, I'm probably gonna have to take a plane or a train.
We'll start planning now,
Yeah,
bud.
the only thing that's gonna suck is I'm gonna want to take my big tank and I get like 9 miles to the gallon.
Start putting gas money back now. All right, let's do a super chat. Let's raise money for Garage Guns gas tank right now. Let's get it.
Invested shell.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Before we sign off, speaking of Patreon, if anybody wants to help me out with Hit or Miss and whatnot, I've got a Patreon set up. Links are in the description below, and the video turns into from a live stream to a video. Everyone here probably has a Patreon, so check them out on Patreon if you want to support them.
You will, though.
You will
We'll get you
eventually.
hooked up.
You will. But other than that, please thumbs up this video. After the video, after it becomes a video on YouTube, please comment on it. As soon as it's done processing, I'm gonna load it up on VidMe. So make sure to upvote it on VidMe and comment on VidMe. And
Hey, can I bring up one more thing real quick?
go for it.
Very short. We talked a little bit about it on my show, and it's the hidden thing that people forget about with content creators. If you like the video or you like a show, when you subscribe and you do all that, you hit the thumbs up button. There is another button that's right next to it that is crucially important, but is overlooked a lot, is the share button. Hit the share. It takes 2 seconds. Hit the share button. Share it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever. That helps get these shows out to more and more people, to your friends and all that. And I'm not very good. I need to start being better at the share also. But the share factor of YouTube is incredibly important also, because it does spread the news about these videos.
Yeah.
So hit the share button also.
Yeah. Share it to people you think. So
That's
you
right.
think would like it. Other than that, all I can say is, guys, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for those of you that are out there already on the YouTube side. Thank you for commenting and being part of the conversation. Everyone on the Gun Channel side, thank you guys for being part of the conversation as well and sticking with us.
And Smeggy wasn't absent deliberately. It's just tomorrow is his deer hunting season.
He's leaving tonight. He
probably
left tonight,
already-
didn't he?
Yeah. He's already sorting through a gallon of chili, a gallon of beef stew,
Oh, did he get
6
that?
pounds of salmon, and 2 Italian loves.
But
Did he
that's
go
why
get
I
that?
have the pre-recorded Smeggy to pick up the slack for him.
You're going to have to play it again as the outro.
No, I'm not playing again as the outro, but does
Yes,
anybody
you
else have
because we
anything?
didn't hear it. We did not hear the intro, so we need to hear the outro.
No, it's the same thing. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I've not heard it. Ghost hasn't heard it.
Well,
Let him
I
have
hope we
it.
didn't hear it.
no, I don't have it hooked up. I unplugged my phone.
I'll have to go watch the replay, I guess.
Yeah, I have to watch the replay.
It is good, though. Y'all like it.
But
All right, I'll go check it out.
anyways, thank you all for listening. Those of you that are Patreons already to my Patreon, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I'm going to try and work on that a bit more. I'm going to try and make some more videos and whatnot, but it's gonna be a chore because I don't have the equipment that some of these other guys do, so it's gonna be hard for me.
It'll be hit or miss.
It will be hit or
Tuesday night,
miss.
9 o'clock.
Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock, but it'll also
It's a
be night
shameless
shift.
plug.
But anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. And all I can say is this was Hit or Miss.
Best episode ever.
To the